So you say you want to be a doctor, or you say you want your loved ones to be a doctor. Now we're going to talk about applying to medical school. Well, first, congratulations. Just the fact we are at the part of the journey where we're applying to medical school. Let's get to it. When you apply to medical school, you apply through something called the AMCAS, AMCAS, the American Medical Colleges Application Services. About 90 to 95% of medical schools in this country, you have to go through that service. The way it works, you apply, and we'll talk about that shortly, and then you choose the medical schools you want them to send your application to. The AMCAS, and this is key. In my experience, this is where many students may fall behind a year and they don't intend to. This is key. The AMCAS service opens up in late May of every year. The AMCAS service opens up in late May of every year. It's for those people who are applying to medical school, entering medical school the following fall. Not the next fall, but the following fall. For example, if you are a junior and you apply to AMCAS, it's for you to start after your senior year. Are you with me? AMCAS opens up in May, late May of every year. They start receiving your information, your transcripts, your letters of recommendation. So AMCAS starts to receive your information in late May. They begin to transmit completed files, transmit them to medical schools starting about mid-June. So once your file is complete, then they can transmit them to medical schools. The reason why this is important is because most medical schools call what we have a rolling admissions, meaning that they start to accept people once AMCAS applications are completed, secondaries go out, interviews. So they start to accept people early. And the more number of people they accept, the fewer spots there are. AMCAS opens up in May. You begin to send information in May. When your file is complete, they can transmit it to medical school. This is what you need to know. It's important for you to have your AMCAS application completed and ready for transmission early July, maybe mid-July. Why? Because it becomes a numbers game. It becomes a numbers game. And to optimize the numbers of being in your favor, you want your application transmitted early. As a side note, AMCAS will transmit your application while it's waiting on your MCAT score. AMCAS will transmit your application while they are waiting on your MCAT score. Let's go back to your previous timeline. You're taking the MCAT in the late spring of your junior year. It usually takes about 30 days for it to come back. You want that MCAT score back as soon as possible so it can be transmitted to medical schools. So while your application is transmitted to medical schools, if there's not an MCAT with that application, they put your application in a hold status. They need to see your MCAT scores. Again, it's so important for you to get that AMCAS application completed as early as possible. It puts the numbers in your favor in terms of there are a greater number of spots, medical school spots available for you. Let's go to personal statement. The personal statement means a great deal. You'll talk to a few consultants, a few guidance counselors, people who may not have served on any of these committees. Based upon my experience and the experience of me and my colleagues in this space, personal statements should be about 1 page. You're going to read, they can be a page and a half, that they can be 2 pages. Your personal statement needs to be 1 page, and you need to put a lot of time into it. The end point of your personal statement is you want them to leave your personal statement saying, wow, this is an interesting person. I want to interview them. You don't want to waste time and energy putting stuff in your personal statement that's already in your application. Grades, MCAT scores. No, your personal statement, it's about you. Your personal statement's about you. Many people choose to use a quote. You can do that. But if you use a quote, make it a quote that applies to you and your personal statement. Make it tie in. Make it touch them. Make it feel them. At the end of the day, your personal statement, you need to give of yourself. Share your pain, share your fun, share something that says, hey, this is the person that I want to interview. And then once your MCAT application is completed, as well as your personal statement, which is a part of that, and they have your MCAT scores, then medical schools will send secondary applications. Secondary applications are simply applications that are unique to that medical school that come with their own set of questions, their own set of unique and specific questions. Let me run through that again, because you don't get a secondary application from a medical school that you did not transmit your MCAT application to. Let's summarize. You choose a school that you want your completed MCAT application completed to. Have it sent to them. And then they decide if they want to send you a secondary application. And by the way, secondary applications have a cost as well. Medical school is a business. They have a cost too. And once you fill out that secondary application, now you have the possibility and the potential of getting an interview. Just to be clear, schools who you do not get a secondary from are schools where you do not interview. You are not in the line, you are not in the group who will be admitted to that school. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Just because you transmit an application to a school, if you don't receive a secondary and an interview, you are not in the group to be admitted to that school. Everybody, there are unique parts to this. It's about being strategic on this journey that we're on together. In summary, make sure you pay attention to those MCAT deadlines for the year that you're going to be applying to MCAT. Make sure you spend a lot of time getting all the data points that you need to have a completed application. You want that done as early as possible. And make sure you put a lot of time into that personal statement. Hey, everyone, we're on this journey. We're several hundred miles into this journey. We're almost there. See you at the next video.